One of the greatest college football rivalries gets renewed on Saturday evening as number 3 Florida State takes on number 7 Miami here at Doak. Welcome to your official game preview brought to you by shop.seminoles.com. I'm Scott Kotick. This sort of game has got that old school Florida State-Miami feel to it. Both teams are in the top 10. Both teams are undefeated. This game brings back so many great memories for everyone involved.
Because when you grew up watching those games, sitting there watching, think you was ever coaching in it. Now you're the head coach in it, and those significant things. I think it's great. I think it's what's right about college. College football is getting right again.
This is more of like a brotherly game. Miami is obviously down south, and it's a big rivalry. But it's like we're gonna be in the backyard. We just gonna be playing against each other, and we want to beat our brother. And if they want to be the big brother, we want to be the little brother. It's still a friendly competition, and it's gonna be a battle.
Playing with those guys younger, when I was in high school, and playing against some of those guys, and you just be able to do it again on a collegiate level. So it gets exciting.
You hear about it growing up since you're a little kid. I always been a State fan, so I always hear the Florida State side of it. Going against those guys and missed field goals and missed national championships going against those guys. They have a good squad down there. Those guys love to play football, love to hit, and that's always been their reputation. Going through this rivalry. And they seem like they keep it going every year, no matter where they're ranked, how they're playing, good or bad. When it's time to play Florida State, when it's time to play Florida, I always seem to buckle up the chin strap real tight and come in head first.
Now for a closer look at Rashad Green, Jameis Winston, and the Florida State offense, here's Lane Hurd.
It has been all about the quick starts for the Seminoles in the last 2 games, with Florida State scoring 52 points in the first quarter against Clemson and North Carolina State. The next test now for the Seminoles is a Miami defense ranked 18th in the country, 17th in the country in pass defense. But those numbers don't tell the whole story. The Hurricanes have only given up 6 passing touchdowns all season long to go with 12 interceptions and are only allowing 28% third down conversion rate. Jameis Winston knows that this game against Miami will be a battle.
They have a lot of great players, and I think when you have a great team, by being a rivalry, those great players are going to turn into amazing players because they have a lot inside just like we have. So it's going to be a battle.
The key for Miami will be slowing down the Seminoles early. Like we said before, 52 points, including 35 against North Carolina State in the first quarter. Usually that means it's about slowing down the rushing game, but for the Seminoles, you have to slow down that pass. If Miami can do that, then maybe they can stay in the game. If not, Florida State understands just what it means to start quickly.
We always want to start fast. That's one thing that's big that we talked about the first few games, how we started off slow and just dragged through. Past few games we've been starting off fast, and now our team sees when we start off fast, we're pretty hard to get beat because when we start off fast, we on a roll, we got the momentum, and we just take the breath out of everybody.
With every game, you want to be hungry, you want more, and that's something we stress on this team. Always be hungry, always want more. So I don't feel like it's just specifically this game that we will become more hungry.
For a look at the Florida State defense versus the Miami offense, here's Jonathan Shalacy.
In the ACC, Florida State is 10-1 all-time against top 10 teams, including 1 win already this year. And a big reason for that is the defense. Florida State has held opponents to 20 or less points in 28 of its last 35 games, and they've really stepped it up at home. They've only allowed 2 teams over 200 yards passing, and they've held opponents to just 11.8 points per game. But in order to have that success, they'll have to contain the second-best ACC rusher in Duke Johnson, and they'll have to limit Stephen Morris's chances. But in a rivalry game like this, all stats go out the window in what the players are calling a brotherly rivalry.
I get to go against some of my old high school teammates, friends. Some people off the team has cousins, brothers over there. So, you love those guys. You know these guys outside of football. You know what kind of character guys they are, and you know the real person. And then, for that 60 minutes, it's like you're just another opponent, football player across that white line. So, it's special.
I'm going to bring probably even more, to tell you the truth. I really believe in our team and how we're playing right now. I believe in our offense very well. I just feel like we're on a high, and we're definitely going to stay at that level. Actually, not even stay at it, just going to keep on taking it higher and just playing better each week. And, that's our goal every time we have a new opponent. But we know it's going to be a big stage, and I mean we're ready for it. We like the big lights and stuff like that, so it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Kickoff scheduled for 8:18 on Saturday night here at Doak. It's a hard sellout. Should be one of the greatest atmospheres of all the college football season. We can't wait for number 3 Florida State versus number 7 Miami on Saturday night. I'm Scott Kodak for Seminoles.com.